Mucus-free. We are mucus-free. We are mucus-free.
All right. Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Professor Spira, and welcome to episode number 9 of the Mucus-free Life podcast. And if you've been waiting a few minutes, I apologize. We've had a couple of technical issues getting things together here with the special guests that we have in store for you. So I appreciate you hanging out with us here. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about a very important and historical weekend that we just had here in Columbus, Ohio. We had the 2nd annual Arnold Ehret Day Celebration, and it was phenomenal. And I can't wait to start talking about it, showing you some of the footage from it and pictures and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let me introduce to you who we have with us today. And we have Brother Air there on the left.
Hey.
And we have Janan Al-Jahani on the right.
Hey, everybody.
And Brother Air, bring your camera down just a little bit. You're kind of, there we go. Now we got a face there. Okay. All right. So, what'd you guys think of the event? What'd you guys think of Ehret Day Celebration?
Yeah!
Right on.
That's all I can say, man. It was all of that, you know, without a bag of chips, you know.
Yeah.
It was all that, man. I mean, I just was thoroughly satisfied and overjoyed, and the people. It was like all the best people in the world were there, you know. It was like the best of the best, you know, like were there, you know, and it really felt like a community, and it just was the funnest thing that I've ever done in my life. I mean, truly.
Yeah.
It was the funnest weekend I've had in my life, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna second what Brother Air said about community, because I know what I was. I mean, of course, I had a wonderful time, as I expected to, but what I was just so pleasantly pleased with on both days was just the amount of volunteership and cooperation and just everyone there who didn't even have a role to play, just wanted to help out in any way that they could. And so that again attests to Brother Air saying that it was just a good group of people. So and it was. I had a great time, and I think most everyone else did as well.
Yeah. It was, and to be, you know, to be putting this thing together for weeks and weeks like we did, and for it to finally come off like that without a hitch.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was just wonderful, man. And I mean, we should pat ourselves on the back, man.
I agree. I agree too.
Let's see if I could pat you.
because everybody was just on point, man, with what they were doing, and the volunteers, and just being there and hearing people's story, how they got there.
Right.
You know, that was something, man. I had started, you know, sending little private messages to a few different people. And then when we decided to do this, I kind of stopped, and I will get in all my thank yous and everything I'll have to, hear. I'll do it here, but I was sending private messages to everybody in a certain order, that I was thanking personally for, so, I can do it here. And so
yeah,
that's cool. It was cool, man. I mean, the band was on fire, man. Something that we was trying to put together. One rehearsal. I just thought Ethan Marsh and Josh Strain did a wonderful job.
Hey, your camera fell down again.
As long as with Professor Spira, everybody did a wonderful job. Big John helping out in any capacity. He just wanted to be there. And then he was playing on the breaks and with his beautiful vibe sound and and so I mean it was just so much stuff going on.
There was so much going on, and I mean not only was there the schedule of all the speakers and the events, but there were so many side things going on. During the breaks, you walk outside and you don't really know what you're going to catch or what conversation you're going to get yourself into. Which and that was great. And then get back to the schedule, what you guys actually put as the list of events. It was just kind of like I was always waiting, like I couldn't wait to hear the next thing.
Yeah. It was moving along, and I see the Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna play a little B-roll while you guys are talking here.
Okay.
Pull this off.
Yeah. The getting there and getting the I thought the decorations would take longer than they took, but it seemed to like I turned my head and they were up, everything was there. So
yeah, we were moving pretty quick, and I have to say that it was like just from one end of taking those suckers out, taking the flowers and the vines out. We had a couple helpers on that, and Takora was my woman during that process, because I just stayed on the ladder and she was bringing them to me, and I just threw them up there. There was none of the fastening that I was talking about. When the day came, all that, it wasn't necessary. Right. We just got them up there, and they turned out better. Yeah, I want to say better than what some people thought, and I'm a little hurt by that.
Well, who was the some people or the some person?
You.
Ye of little faith. See, I never.
I was yeah, but it was so, somebody was talking about were they real?
Because they look I mean they look real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And no, they of course were not.
Right. Well, yeah, I know,
but yeah, no, that's good. That's great. Yeah, we, don't want them to look like I just pulled them out of the box. No, I wanted everything to look as natural and as if we were bringing the outside inside, and I think that was achieved a little bit.
Yeah, it was. And we had a beautiful day.
Yeah.
So
we will show the inside. I probably should have been playing some B-roll of the inside while we're talking about the decorations inside, but this is the outside. This is the mucus-free picnic. It's basically we were trying to come up with a name for it.
This was the Sunday outing.
Yeah, Sunday.
And at that we had all kind of discussions, and the breatharian, he talked. You know, and he did a piece, and so he was holding court. Yeah, and that was the added attraction that people didn't know
was about to happen.
That he was going to be there. We kind of knew that he was going to be there, but we didn't let anyone know that he was going to be there. And people dug that because, you know, you seldom get a chance to socialize with a breatharian.
Right.
And so they had a lot of questions. People were grilling him, you know, and they were.
Oh, here's the baby.
Yeah. This is cute. So that's Big John, the Vibe Man Davis, and he's a street musician, and he goes out and plays with his vibes, and he goes out with those with the bubbles. And he said, he told me, if you're a street performer and you out there and you don't have bubbles, you ain't even doing nothing.
Yeah, I gotta re-up on my bubbles, man.
Yeah.
But, he knows how to appeal to the audience that he's trying to catch out there. And the children, you see, they loved it, man.
Oh,
they were like, bubbles, you know, but, well, the adults loved it too.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah. I think I saw Spira back there in the bubbles a couple times.
Yeah, he was popping, chasing them. He was chasing them.
Chasing them with his teeth.
That might have happened.
Yeah. So yeah, my thing is, I wanted to say to the Obacon, man, he was like, you know, the Count of Monte Cristo, boy. He's something, man. He was such a help, man. And
absolutely.
Next year, I'm gonna have to bring him a personal bag of oranges. That's an inside joke. A few people know what that means, and once he see it, he know what I'm talking about. But that's my cat, man. He was so helpful.
Yes, he was,
and just so patient.
Mm-hmm.
And I just dug his whole spirit, man. He's a funny cat too, you know. He's a funny cat. So, you know, Obacon, thank you from the depths of my heart and our heart, man. We appreciate you. Yeah. And all you did, man, you really made this piece.
Hey, brother, air your camera again. It keeps. It's like, we see you from the nose up. Is the problem?
Oh, okay. What about there?
And it's worse.
I see your eyebrows. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're seeing with your monitor, but it's.
What about there?
No, it's like you. It's like, I don't know. I'd love to know what you're seeing, because it's. I'll tell you when. Just go up slow and right there. There.
Yeah, but I gotta hold it though.
What about the duct tape? I told you that.
I got the duct tape.
Because the duct tape's already on it. Okay.
What about there?
No, that's like all we see is your forehead.
Right there?
All right, but yeah. If it doesn't move,
okay. All right.
That'll suffice for the moment. I guess I need to get you a legitimate stand or something, or just a new camera that clips on there better.
It doesn't clamp on, but
or if you sat up a little high, like just put your neck up. There we go. Well, see, right there is perfect.
Yeah, but I'm holding
boxes.
Right there.
I mean, that'll work. Yeah, it's like cutting off at your chin, but that's
okay.
That'll. But if you sit up just a little bit, then that would probably solve it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All
right. So yeah. So Obacon, Rachel, Christian.
Oh, yeah.
Christian was such a joy, man, to be around. He has Rachel's son, He has such a beautiful spirit, and he's funny too. He's a funny little cat. Because he tells a joke and be totally serious, like he's not telling a joke, like he's serious. It's funny how he'll say something funny, but he'll say it serious.
Right.
you know, you don't know what he's if he's telling a joke or what. You'd be like, like he's looking so serious. He's a funny cat. But yeah, his spirit and Rachel, man, they were there and they were just giving of themselves.
Rachel was working hard in the kitchen.
At
the event, she certainly was. She was working really hard in the kitchen there.
Asha and Ayana were just, like they were there just kind of, whatever we needed, whatever it needed to be done, they were there just helping and being there.
For sure.
So supportive.
Yeah.
Michael Fathour. I hate saying his last name because I can't say it. Fathour. Yeah, he's a cat that's so intense on getting it right. He really wants to do the right thing and do,
Absolutely. Yeah, he took great pride in his job and his role.
If you could have seen him and Obakan working on recipes all morning, that was like I guess not the Three Stooges, but the Two Stooges in the kitchen. It was hilarious, man. They were tasting stuff, and Obakan was like, "Oh my God, no! No, throw this out and try again." And it was like that all morning. So
I'm upset that I missed that. I'm sorry.
It was the funniest thing, man. And yeah. So all them cats, man.
What are you showing pictures of, Spira?
I'm not showing them yet. I'm about to.
Oh, okay.
Even though I know you, that's what you guys see. But yeah. Right now we're looking at you. But what I'm about to show are some pictures. These are actually pictures that Michael sent to me. That were just ones that he took. And let me find the right thing to bring it up. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm gonna just scroll through these. See, this is like we're just here, kind of going through some pictures and videos and memories of the event.
Memories of the Ehret Day weekend.
Yeah.
So
he took some pictures of. We got stuff at, we didn't have enough time to do the locally sourced piece and, find some of the local farmers and that kind of thing. So we just got as much organic stuff as we could from where we could get it at as one of the canopies that we got. So this was just more or less where they had went out and was looking at different things. Now Michael built a display table. This is like halfway, but as he's building it, what you're seeing there, nobody's seeing.
Right.
This is,
MacGyver.
yeah. You'll see pictures or video of the final thing, and it's like is incredible. And I'm lucky enough to have it. He gave it to me, so I'm gonna be doing some videos with it.
That's Mucus-free. That's Mucus-free Life.com property now.
Yeah. Right. And let's see. So this is a clip of the Airbnb where we had a brother Air and Michael,
that's what I was
and then
saying.
we kind of had little get-togethers in there.
Yeah, y'all, them were the bomb, man. 4 or 5 in the morning, man. It was like bugging, boy.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we had no one was complaining about being hungry. We had plenty of food all day.
Oh man, plenty of food, plenty of drink.
Yeah.
And Sister Sarah, me and her were fasting, so it was nice having people juice for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we'd order up a juice or whatever, and so yeah, she was fasting, I was fasting, So, or juice fasting. So that was cool to have somebody else that was doing it at this, because everybody was eating around us. It was, it was, and when everybody's eating around us, because that's an unusual situation, is to be around people eating good stuff around you.
Right.
And so that was kind of weird. I don't know how Sister Sarah felt. It was because everything that was being eaten was good, especially those watermelons, man, was just, I almost came off the juice fast a few times. I think if it wouldn't have been for Sister Sarah being there and just knowing that she was fasting too, and she was hanging in there, she was strong. Because
now see, check this. You see this picture? We got this was right when we had got everything into the Airbnb, and was like, this is the Friday night, the night before.
God, look at all those huge watermelon. There was, I don't know how many watermelon there were, but there's a lot of them. Watermelon and
all kind of things, bags of carrots. And what about the peaches?
Yeah, that's a rare picture of me eating something. I got that peach in my hand.
Oh, those peaches were delicious.
Yeah.
Probably was one of the biggest peaches that I've ever seen, first of all.
Yeah, they were nice. They were nice size. And I seen them sitting there, and I touched one, and they were like perfect. I was like, dang, man, these things. That's when I told you, I said, the peaches are here. And so,
perfectly ripe.
Yeah, perfectly right. Yeah, I was like, man, it was a few times that I almost came off the fast. It was a few times.
Yeah.
Because there was so much good stuff, so.
Yeah.
And making the brother air salad. And I made more of the air salad. Everybody helped with making the brother air salad.
Yeah.
Some people cut up parts of it. That was definitely a collaborative type of putting together the brother air salad. And I supervise it totally.
I'm sure you did. That you was in there with the whip. Like, that ain't it. No, that ain't the right size. No.
Man. It had to be right, because we used because I never used the processor, but we used the processor on some of the stuff. But then I cut a lot of the stuff up by hand. Ayana, especially Ayana, she cut a lot of the stuff up by hand. Nice. She didn't use the processor, but we did use it, and so that was cool. And people said it tasted good, so that was cool.
It was good. It was delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see the inside.
Yes, check out the beautiful decorations up here at the top. Courtesy of Miss Janan Al-Jahani right here, and had the vision, and we ordered the stuff. And this is a great shot. This is Janan right here dancing, getting down.
Oh yeah.
Let's zoom in.
Oh, let's do that.
Let's see. This is a up here fire music project here. We add it.
It's great.
And
what a really nice venue. First of all, it was just by sheer chance. Being touched by the divine that
believe me, more than you know. As I found out this morning.
Yeah, more than you. You tell a story about. How when people say, as soon as when you hear people say, well, the festival starts, we start putting together the Ehret Day as soon as it's over. Well, this was
literally. So I called on Monday to see if I could get that same venue for next year for the 25th of July, 2020, and it was already gone. And they recommended, they said, well, they usually have lotteries. So if you want a chance to have it, come in at 8 a.m. in the morning in person into the office. And anybody that's there at 8 a.m. that wants the same place, they do a lottery. And whoever wins the lottery gets the space for that date and those times. So I was like, okay, here's a last chance. I would be cool doing it on August 1st. Because that's still in those couple weekends are still in the house, and so August 1st, 2020, and they won't do more than a year in advance. So today was the first day that you could potentially get that spot. So I went down there this morning, 8 a.m., and there was another person there that wanted to have the space for a wedding the same day, the same time. So we did the lottery. They had these little balls. I don't know if it's like bingo or what. I guess they're little bingo balls or something. And so we each took a ball and they put our name down and we gave them the ball. And they had this little thing. They wind it up and the balls rolled around in it. And then it sort of dropped and rolled off. And they looked at the ball and I lost the lottery today. I lost the lottery.
Okay, but that just goes to show you, we were supposed to have that this year. There.
Yeah.
There. And did. And so
we were trying to, strike lightning twice with that particular place. But it looks like we're going to have to move on into a different direction in terms of venue for next year. So we're working
we had
on
just
it.
thought a day before, me and Spira had talked, and we were kind of like, you want to have it there again this year? And we kind of said, well, if it happens, because at least we know the place and we know what we have to deal with.
Right.
And so we kind of decided right then and there, if we can get it right now, then let's get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like a quick decision, but
there he is.
We were thinking like it would just reduce everything to its lowest denominator.
Yeah, because everything was like, right, everything
like
was
we
functioning.
We got that now. We know the space. We know what we got to deal with, and it just made it easier for next year.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the way we were looking at it, and but now we're kind of we're looking.
Back to the drawing board, but at least we're starting. We're starting now. We're starting a year in advance, and so we get better with that every year, and so we'll meditate on it and fast on it and all that good stuff, and make it make it happen. It's gonna be something special next year because we're all the energy is already coalescing. It's
definitely gonna be off the chains, man. I mean, next year is gonna even be even better, man. Because people got a taste of it and they enjoy. I think people really truly enjoyed it. I think they really truly enjoyed it.
Hey, we're losing you again, Brother Ehret. Maybe just sit up. Don't even touch it. I don't know if you sit up. You might.
Let me. What about there?
No, that's not it.
There?
No, not it. Come towards it.
Like that's it. That's it. But you saying that you can't get it? I don't know why you can't get it to stay there.
Well, I can't get it to stay there. I mean, it's like
yeah, it's just not.
Can't. What about that?
That's better.
Yeah.
See half your face. If you move to the left, you might be able to see more. Or the other way. There you go. Oh, there it is.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Now I gotta sit like this, real.
Yeah. There you. Yeah. That's exactly.
Okay. So I'll sit like real.
I mean, it looks right. Like you might feel funny, but you're sitting. It looks okay.
All right. I'm good. I'm comfortable.
That's good. What happened to your face, Spira?
My face.
Yeah,
No,
that's
they
okay.
yeah, they can see me. You guys can't because of the limitations we have with this way that I set this up. So once you watch this video back, you'll see that it's very different from what you see on your mind.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very,
Okay.
very different.
Now there's a spread of food. Was that
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at
So
that, man.
so I say, well, yeah, and and Michael made all this. You know, we had put the menu together. He made everything, and he was using. He had forgot his for the cooked items that we had. He forgot his little stove. So he had this little, I guess it was some kind of like a little butane thing or something super small,
Yeah.
and he made all this food with this like this little small thing. You know, he was and so basically we got I called this the mucus-free buffet, and
It was really. It looked really good.
I had even a better, was it the combination salad buffet or something. You know, basically you make your own salad, so wherever you are with the transition, you had stuff to eat here. I mean, you were totally covered. So if you 100% raw foodist doing your thing, you could have went over here, got you some raw leaves and been on your merry way, and some raw dressings down here. If you into the transition, we had the I think these are some peppers and onions down here that's sauteed, and they had a little onion saute kind of stuff. We got the Brother Ehret salad back there, had a little red sauce going on. There was some baked bananas over here somewhere.
What was that about the Brother Ehret salad? I just remember some people making a call to you about bring the Brother Ehret salad back or something.
That was that was just people wanted me to bring Brother Ehret salad on. I think Johnny was wanting some on Sunday, on
okay.
Saturday night. That's what that was about. But
yeah, so we didn't want to give it up, but we put a little bit in a Tupperware, only for Johnny though.
Yeah, we did that. So.
I didn't know what that was about, because they were asking me. I said, I don't know nothing about anything that was there. I didn't pack up the food, so I don't know what was in there.
They were looking for it
when they went. Yeah, they must have been quite insistent. Like, oh, they want that.
Well, that's why
we had got our hands on it. Basically, we had got our hands on it. Was like, all right, because we didn't.
Like the Brother Ehret salad is one of those things that if you can't eat it at the moment and you know that it's there, you know someone's got it, you know it's somewhere, you can't stop thinking about it until you get it.
Wasn't that a whole pan?
It was.
Yeah. Because you guys made what, 2 or 3 pans worth of it or something? I guess they ate
two pans.
2 pans. Okay, so they a full pan was eaten at the event, and then I guess we got the other pan, and so
they wanted some more. I was like, man, where is that salad at? And then I just remember somebody like, call Spira, he's coming over. Tell him to bring
it. Right.
Oh, okay. So there go another. That's a good picture of a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, this was at the food prep.
Yeah,
Airbnb food prep.
Yeah.
In making I guess that's making the Brother Ehret salad back there with the layers, the different layers of shredded vegetables and fruit.
Yeah. I think we put the apples in there.
Right.
At the venue, and everything else was made because I let it sit overnight inside and kind of get that marinade going.
Yeah.
And Michael had. I just remember early in the morning, about 5 in the morning, seeing these spirals of zucchini just constantly coming out, like boom. He was, and
let's see. I'm gonna try. David just hit us up and see if he's still here. We'll add him to the call. The rhythm. Is doing the polyrhythm book.
Polyrhythm, oh yeah, my man from New York. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, see if
he's still.
I want to plug in with him. I need some. Because he's writing a book of polyrhythms. I want to get it before it comes out. See if I can study some of that stuff, man. So that's the only time I use my reading is doing method books.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, David? You there? It said he joined. You gotta unmute your microphone and do your and if you have a camera, then you have to undo the camera.
I guess anybody who was there wants to join can join, right?
This is a little more complicated. He said he'll get on the call in a few minutes. Okay, he's busy taking care of that business. So this is a little more complicated the way that this is set up with the Skype, because you can't just invite people to with the other thing you can give them a link and then they can just automatically come in. With Skype you have to physically add them. So I had sent out a message saying, hey, if you want to join in, I know it.
And the immunizations is really, really real. They're making it state law. We are right now in litigation with one of my sons. He's one of my sons. And his wife and the state of Ohio, Hamilton County, out in Hamilton, Ohio. The mother wanted to get a second or third opinion, prognosis, and she didn't know what she was signing. So she signed her little baby over to the hospital. Yeah, she didn't know. She didn't read it. And so now their thing is that baby is in danger. We need to take the baby. They took the baby from the mother while they were in the hospital and told the mother and the father if they don't leave, they're going to put them in jail for criminal trespassing at the hospital. They kept the baby for longer than 24 hours, and they began to run tests on this infant. She was like 7 or 8 months, somewhere up in there, and she had eczema. But the only reason she had eczema is because the mother's diet had regressed back to cheese, fish, bread, and processed food. So the mother's milk, of course, caused the baby to not get enough oxygenation, which caused eczema. So the physician who was actually there to see the baby called 241 Kids, or Children Protective Services, and said, the baby's in danger. So they hid the baby for like 24 hours and said that the baby was at Children's Hospital, and in reality, the baby was there in their care. They kept the baby is still being held from the parents with the woman's cousin, because they're seeing if the parents were criminal in the care for the child or like neglect. And they found that there was no neglect and that the parents were really caring and that the mother did her extensive research. And they said, okay, we're going to immunize the baby. Now, shooting a baby with a needle, is that not child abuse? I think it is. Drawing blood from a baby is child abuse. Anything you want to know, you can ask anybody over in the eastern part of the world who deals with medicine how you read a person's illness. You read it through their eyes, you can look at their tongue, and you can look down in their ear. You can look up their nose and tell if a person is ill. This is how they do it way out there, way over there. But here, they have a tendency to want to stick, pick, pull, probe, go all the way up. They up in your butt now. They get all the way up in your body. So these tools, they're fine, and they have cameras, but don't you think they have other, floating things you can't see, and by the time it's up in your body and come out, you got something. What is it that you may have contracted? Any dis-ease that has a name is given to that ailment or symptom or that problem. All disease is known as constipation.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was Takor, man, on fire as usual,
Yeah.
breaking it down. And
Yeah, and as you can hear there, well, or lack of hearing anything, you could hear a pin drop in there. Everyone
Right.
love it. You can heal yourself. That's really what it comes down to it. So that story told that very, very nicely and comically, I might add.
yeah, it was, thinking back on that was a trying time, man, because I was real close a few times with going and get a CAT scan, like what's going on with my head? Because this is your head.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, headaches are no joke.
Yeah. So yeah, that was beautiful. So we don't get a teaser from you, Professor. What's up?
Well, I didn't think everybody wanted to see little old me.
Well,
it's not fair.
Let's see what.
Yeah, we can.
Everybody's so be tired of listening to me.
Well, I mean,
Wow,
you can show your presence. I mean, like,
All right, I'll do the.
So I know you hadn't got to Dylan and Johnny yet. I know you said you were still working on but you had got to us three.
And
so
they call, hey man, what was that book? I'm ready. They're ready. And so I like to plant those seeds, especially things that are visual and that they've experienced. Yeah. They've experienced being sick and blowing their nose and having a fever and coughing. So when you kind of bring that up and you align it with Mucusless Diet and say, okay, well, if you ever don't appreciate or like or enjoy that kind of feeling of being sick, wouldn't it make sense to get into something that teaches you how to get rid of the mucus? Because it's in the title, Mucusless Diet Healing System. But with the mystery model, that's just kind of just putting these little seeds around
his luggage in the woods.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And he said when he got back to his luggage, the only thing that was missing was a big bag of granola.
Oh.
I think maybe the breatharian was walking around.
He started really looking for a place in March, and then we got the spot. I think it was April. I think is when
that's what really triggered everything.
I remember
once we had the spot. Once we had the spot.
I remember you saying that the Whetstone, the Park of Roses shelter house became available, and that kind of triggered everything, right?
Yeah.
That was a cool little place. I really have to say that was a nice little venue. I mean, it was perfect for the size of the event and everything. I mean, the acoustics were great in there. I mean, nonetheless, being in a beautiful park. I mean, that
I liked it.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought that it was. I just dug the whole day, man, and the venue and the environment. It was just a great environment, man. I dug it.
Yeah, I like how you guys set up like the projector screens and everything. I thought that looked like very professionally done with all the,
thank you.
The other decorations and everything. Yeah, you guys, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, hey man, we enjoyed you, and was that your mother?
Yeah.
Your mom. Yeah. She's something else, man. I dig her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was sweet.
Yeah. So what did you take away from man?
Well, first off, it was just really something else to meet other people that that recognize Ehret's work and try their best to live a mucus-free life in general. And while I'm far from perfect, I mean, I'm taking every steps that I can to practice the lifestyle as best as I can. But mainly it was meeting people in person that shared this same. I want to say it's more than an interest. I mean, it's the whole lifestyle. It's so much more than just like I don't know, some regular old topic that people talk about. And it really inspired me. I feel like in a whole new way that I didn't expect to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what you guys wanted to hear, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so it was really, and to finally meet you guys too. I mean, it's one thing, watching YouTube videos, but to be able to meet you guys, that was really cool too, I will say.
Yeah, man. You were getting into some deep stuff about rhythm, man. That was.
Oh yeah. I could go on legitimately for days about that. I mean, days.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I mean, I know you guys are serious musicians, so you appreciate it too.
That.
So.
Yeah. We're gonna. Yeah. I mean, that's just it's fascinating stuff to get into that and the music and.
Yeah. But I will say. Yeah, Spira, you're one heck of a trombone player, man. I mean,
oh, thank you.
I'd say you sound up there with like the greats of jazz. I mean, your solos and everything, like that. I believe at least is sounding like a true. I don't want to say professional, but like a true master of it.
Oh well, hey man, I really
mean the
appreciate
phrasing,
that, man.
everything was just on point. I was like, wow. I mean, I listened to some of the stuff that you posted before, but hearing it in person, I was really blown away. I mean, I really haven't listened to too many jazz trombone players, but it was really besides the instrument. I mean, you were up there with all the other instrumentalists, whether it's saxophone, trumpet. It's just a different instrument, and I really enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
so
I really appreciate it, man. That's the goal, is to be,
Yeah.
we try to get to that level of excellence, man, because there's so many great musicians around the world, and there's always been a goal of mine to be in that company. And same with Brother Air. I know he feels the same way about himself, and so, so I really appreciate that.
I kind of missed that. I had the guy who cuts my grass knocked on the door for his payment, so I had to go pay, man.
Okay. Yeah.
I was basically just telling Spira that to hear you guys play in person was awesome. I was just saying that Spira is probably I said he was a true master at the instrument, and that everything about his playing was really just absolutely phenomenal, and had the mark of a true master. I mean, the phrasing, everything was just. I mean, I love jazz in general, so I was down with it. But even outside of that, looking at it from a, I guess, like technical standpoint, so to speak, that hit all the marks easily.
Good.
Yeah,
man. Hopefully, man, that band will stick and develop into something. Because we only had one rehearsal.
Yeah, we did that with just one rehearsal. Yeah.
And so hopefully that band will develop into something, and the guys will stick and see that it's kind of necessary to develop. So we hoping. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, having the stand-up bass is definitely a requirement for like a jazz type of group or typical jazz, and the vibes was definitely a cool touch. I thought the vibes sounded it made a cool dynamic between the vibes and the trombone, because you got totally two different timbres going on. You got a brass instrument and then a mallet instrument. Nonetheless, the vibes are just such a unique instrument.
Yeah.
Within themselves.
All right, ladies.
Yeah, it's different. It's different, and it gives you different chord type of a different sonic sound,
Yeah, different. Yeah, soundscape. I like that.
Yeah, so So that's, like I say, I hope that these guys stick, because I believe that the band can really get really tight and knock down some walls, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I always think that I enjoy that, at least listening to new arrangements for these genres, whereas you hear so many of the typical arrangements. What you got, drums, piano, and bass, or something like that. But to hear different instruments all put together, I feel like that makes it unique, and people, I don't know about need to, but I find that exciting, and
and,
something I feel like people should do more.
and we love to play in odd meters. You know, that's another thing that we like.
Yeah.
So that, you know, doing a little bit of that, and going from real hardcore funk to some straight ahead jazz to I don't know, since you're a drummer, did you hear when we call it, I think Spira kind of named it, this backward swing that I do.
Yeah.
What is it called? A what swing?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I call it the backward swing. We're actually doing it. If I put the volume up, you won't hear it through Skype. But
Oh, okay. Oh, because you got on the YouTube, you're playing
right,
too.
Yeah, so the people can actually hear the music. But we'll listen to this real quick.
Still there?
Yeah, we're listening to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's kind of like a backwards kind of figure that I'm doing, where I'm accenting the of the figure of the of the figure. So it's like, instead of saying ding digga ding digga ding digga ding digga ding digga, you know, with the bass line, I'm doing, the bass line is dum 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 dum, and I'm accenting you know, it's like, so, you know, it's just, so it takes on a kind of a backwards feel.
I was listening to what you're playing. Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch the video again, but I definitely can recall that.
Yeah. So that's something that we want to develop. New ways to create rhythm, you know, in the fashion that you know, that still swings, because we don't want to get away from that feeling.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't want to get away from that feeling. And
well, now you and Spira, you guys had met at a music place, right? Originally.
Well, my first memory of Brother Air was at the Greenwich Tavern Jam session. We might have seen each other before that, but that's when I first remember him. And we didn't really talk yet. You know, I didn't know him. You know, He kind of went up and he played drums, he was there with Chuck.
I actually thought he was Puerto Rican.
Nice.
So I knew it was a lot of what was happening. This salsa thing was really hitting in Cincinnati, and so when I seen him playing trombone, I know salsa music uses a lot of trombone, and so I thought he was a salsa musician. You know, I was like, he was Puerto Rican. Before I even talked to him, I was like, he's Puerto Rican, you know.
That's great.
Latino or something. And then little did I know, you know, started and I was at those jam sessions hanging out with a friend of ours named Chuck Young, because I normally was not coming to jam sessions, but Chuck Young was almost begging me to go and hang with him. Like, man, come on, because I want a drummer there. He's like, man, them drummers there, I can't play with him. So if you there, I know at least I'll have a drummer that can play, you know?
Yeah.
So I was there at them jam sessions on request from Chuck Young, because I never would come to jam sessions. I just didn't hang like that, you know.
Yeah. Who would have thought that after all this time that it would have transformed into this? I just think that's so. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Something
mean,
really
yeah.
neat, in hindsight, looking back.
we kind of after we kind of started talking, we never stopped talking.
Yeah, I know where you meet people like that. Yeah, that's really.
We never
It's like special. From the jump, right there.
and that he was interested in the practice of the mucusless diet, because all you can do for another person with the
Yep.
mucusless diet is just turn them on to the book. That's all you can really do.
Yeah. And for somebody to jump into it right away, I mean, that's how it was for me. I stumbled upon Spira's version of the Mucusless Diet Healing System.
That's the best version.
I believe it was through what version?
I said that's the best version.
Oh yeah. I believe I actually found it through Amazon because I bought a juicer, this Omega brand juicer, and in the related products was the book, and it had the bright color and everything with the yellow and green. I was like, oh, that looks pretty neat, and I clicked on it, not knowing what it was, or maybe I read the title and I was like, Mucusless Diet, like something kind of, I don't know, went off in the brain, kind of thinking like, what does that mean? Like, I kind of thought like, all right, well, it probably has to do with like types of food that create mucus and everything. And I then went to the website, and once I started reading the information, that was it. It was one of those, I guess, epiphany type of moments in life where the light bulb goes off on top of the head, and that was it. I knew that there's no turning back, and that I knew there was a long way ahead of me, but I knew that I didn't have to research anything more, and basically all things regarding health and wellness and vitality were going to come from this, because there was no denying it.
Well, that's the way it hit me 40 years ago, and I haven't stopped since. So when you say there's no turning back, I definitely understand that.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been interesting, because now it's kind of, you look at the rest of society in a, not like a negative way, but a different way, in that it's through this completely different lens and perspective now of exactly what's pus and mucus forming and this whole lifestyle. And it's been quite amazing to see the transformation and transition, knowing this knowledge and trying to live it. It's been a crazy amount of time.
How did you turn your mom onto it? How did that happen? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I'd mentioned it to her here and there. I mean, she's not like a I guess like a big practice or
Right.
it's definitely small steps for sure, but
Right.
she comprehends it, like explain the basics.
Is he breaking up?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
And I think still some work to be done, but I think. How about now? Can you hear me better?
It's a little bit kind of it's kind of breaking up a little bit.
Is it any better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but no. Either way, it was nice to have her on the trip, come along with me, because it was either going to be her or my brother, who I love my brother, don't get me wrong, but he does not subscribe to the Mucusless Diet Healing System, and he's quote unquote in pus and mucus land, if there was such a thing.
Yeah. There is such a thing.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? At least my mom, she'll be open-minded about it, and we can have a good time and everything. Whereas, yeah, I don't need somebody coming along and saying, oh, blah, 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 whatever regular mainstream culture is like.
Right.
Because that's kind of defeats the whole purpose of it.
Now,
Like there's only
how,
so much you can do.
hey Dave, how old are you?
Yeah. Well, I believe the body is 9 years old, but I believe the spirit's probably that makes any sense. But yeah, 29.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think I came across Ehret's work. I guess it's been, let me think, a little over 2 years. I think it was somewhere around like March or April of 2017 that I came across Ehret's work, because that's when I bought the juicer that I so dearly love now.
Okay.
And yeah, that I can make that correlation. I got the juicer and then got the book, and that was it.
Now, when you started, were you going through like some chronic illnesses, or did you just want to be healthier?
I just wanted to be healthier, because at that point I was already quote unquote vegan for I'd say since 2012, 2013. But I still noticed that, like, even after all these years, I wasn't as healthy as I thought I should be, or could be at least. And even though with the information that I had at that time, you would think that, oh, just because you're doing everything plant-based, that you should be much healthier and all these problems should go away, when that wasn't the case. And I kind of knew that, or kind of thought that, like, well, you can still eat a ton of vegan junk food, and I kind of, there's something that still was like nagging at me, kind of like a missing piece of the puzzle that I couldn't quite put my finger on yet. And I believe the Mucusless Diet Healing System was that. And that kind of tied everything together, is how like the body functions and everything. And it really reaffirmed, like, at least how I was living and everything, and why I was feeling the way that I was and all that. It really, like I said, it just clicked immediately.
Yeah.
Wow. You never stop reading it.
No, and there's well, I believe the audiobook of it is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I've listened to that a bunch of times over.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. We really enjoyed you, man. You and your mother really enjoyed.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was really just something else to be able to meet everyone in person, and just a pretty big crowd to people that live this. And it's
yeah, man. It's catching on, and a lot of people didn't show up who donated and helped with the event.
Yeah.
And we want to take this time to thank people who donated for the event to happen that couldn't be there. They, that's a big thing, man, to donate some funds to create the event that they can't even be at,
Right.
Yeah.
So we take the time to thank them, man. We really appreciate, and hopefully they can be there next year.
Right.
So yeah,
man. Yeah, it was good to talk with you, Dave, man. I'm glad that you came through.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic that I actually made it out.
Yeah, man, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, like I was saying before, it's just definitely given me a whole new like appreciation, but also just like spirit, like revelry for it, and the whole Mucus-free Diet Healing System. and yeah, giving me a lot of, I don't know about hope is the right word, but just so much more enthusiasm towards it. And
Yeah,
also shout out to Johnny too. I mean, his presentation with the physical part of it, I
yeah,
think that was great. That was spot on.
yeah,
Because he addressed a lot of things that I was thinking of. Because I'm a very physical person. I love bike riding, BMX riding, and just exercising, being outside, and all that. My whole life I've been active, and to put it in that perspective I think that was great.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave. I really enjoyed Johnny's talk. For me, I think what I got most out of it, because I try to exercise, get in some body movement, but I really latched on to his concept of moving for, I know he didn't put it this way, but I took it was practicing movement to achieve full range of motion all day long.
yeah.
It wasn't that his exercise was to tax the muscles. It wasn't to fatigue the body. It was just to make sure that the body can move in all of the ways that it's supposed to move. And that's why you exercise.
I like how he said that you work out to feel good and then you stop.
Right.
You don't overexert yourself.
Right.
You go to
That's
that limit. And I thought that was perfect.
Yeah, I dug that too when he says you work out to feel good and then you chill out as soon as you start feeling some discomfort. I was like, that's right up my alley.
Exactly. Because then it also teaches you to build up endurance and everything. And you can still get to a very high level of fitness, but you're doing it in a least strenuous manner. And that way you also prevent injury and taxing yourself for no reason.
Right.
And then they go doing the bear crawl across, hopping along. We're looking at the screen and they're showing him.
He worked out with the cats for about, I'd say it was probably almost an hour. I mean, about 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
They bear crawled for about 100 yards and then then they was working out on they had the kids play set, but they were doing all kinds of different pull-ups and things on that. And then the video we're watching now, he's got them kind of over on some trees doing in the grass, and then they're about to get in the trees and do some pull-ups and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They got it.
That bear crawl was something, man. That was a sight to behold.
Yeah, I like this where they getting up in the trees and doing the pull-ups, the pull-up reps and that, and that was great. I mean, that was, I wanted to see that because I really like his work, and I know that we just saw just a little bitty glimmer of what he has for working out, and his whole philosophy and approach is very, very connected to nature, very connected to connection to the way that children move, the way that babies move when they come out, and just very
that makes sense.
A philosophy, and a logic to it that's just that makes a lot of sense. That's not, trying to go get, I'm just trying to go get swole. Well, we used to say, I guess they don't say swole anymore. I guess they say the word gains. That's the new phrase that the cats use for getting big. They getting them gains, and so we used to say getting swole, so that was really cool. It was you guys are
so it was I'm just trying to remember everybody. Jody and her son, Who else?
I believe he came out from California, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Who was it?
Well, there was
the guy named
Tobin
Rick?
and Noel.
Well,
Rick.
Tobin and Noel. Oh, of course, Tobin and Noel, man. They're like they are like, you know, the real deal, you know. No joke. You know, no
There's
joke.
Rick.
And now Rick, was that
That's
his
Rick.
name?
The guy
Rick,
right
okay.
Yeah, I think he's in the in the video.
Yeah, there he is. Now he comes from Mexico, but he's from Cincinnati, and he retired from the bulk mail center, the post office, actually where my mother retired from.
Oh, wow.
And then he 2 years ago he left after retirement and moved to Mexico.
Very cool.
I'm gonna play something that you guys won't hear it, but this this is where we had a repeat rendition of the Pus and Mucus right here, brother Eric. He said Pus and Mucus right here.
You know when I knew I was coming to the right place? When I heard you talking about played at the Rib Fest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Told everybody not to eat.
And I told everyone not to eat the ribs, right? Yeah. Yep.
You got some balls.
Yeah. Yes, he just said that he liked, he knew he was in the right place when he heard on the podcast, the last podcast I did, I played a little bit of where we performed at the Jazz and Rib Fest, and I basically told everybody not to eat ribs. You know, and when we played that first year, we played with the Breatharian Ensemble there. They, you know, that we came out immediately and we're just like, you know, say eating ribs is kind of dumb. Dead animals ain't fruit, so why don't you bury the dead? You got white blood when it's supposed to be red. You know, I mean, that was first thing we did. We stepped out on stage just telling people to, you know, just stop eating ribs at the Rib Festival. So that was a lot of fun.
Well, you noticed that was the last time the Breatharian Ensemble performed at the Jazz.
Yeah, that was the last time we were invited to play there for some reason.
I wonder why. So I appreciate
you, David. He just left on here, but yeah, I appreciate you calling in and plugging in.
Thank you, David. See you real soon, man.
Yeah.
Next year, hopefully.
And now, let's see. There was.
So who are we forgetting, man? We
Victoria was trying to plug in here, but
who is that?
Victoria,
yeah.
But
I enjoyed talking to Victoria. Both days, really. I think I spoke to her more on Sunday, but I enjoyed talking to her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
But I think we gave folks a little taste, a little taste of what's there, and we got the big teaser with Janan Al-Jahani dancing, and I know that Janan doesn't like to see herself perform sometimes in the video, so I was like, all right, I won't undo it too long, but we got to see it because it would look phenomenal.
No, we don't.
And folks on the are blowing the chat up. They're just like, what was going on? I wish I was there. This is insane. And so, because they had no clue that something that hip was gonna happen. And so
right. It really surprised, man. The phones came out, man. The phones came out. They were like, man, what's happening? Because you came from the back and then nobody know you was coming, and then when you hit, it was like, oh, what is this? You know, like, and it was just great. It was a great performance.
Well, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. was, I'm gonna say it. I mean, I as a performer, I can't remember the last time that I was nervous in all of my 20 years of belly dancing, except for I was nervous here at Ehret Day. I was nervous here at Ehret Day. It had been a while. I felt like I was pulling myself out of retirement. But really, I think what helped me and just what made it at the end was everyone getting up to dance with me.
Yeah.
Was what I thought was so great. And really, I mean, out of that group, I would have expected that. I don't know why why it should be shocking or surprising that everyone got up and danced, but it really kind of brought the party to a big crescendo.
Yes. Well, you know what happened was that was the one time. Normally, I'm nervous before I do a gig or anything, but for that, I was not nervous at all. It was just like I was ready to go. I was just feeling like nothing could go wrong. You know, like the music is gonna be good. You know, even before we played it. I just did not feel nervous at all. You know.
Yeah. It was funny with me. I don't get nervous playing. I'm nervous setting up because I'm nervous that something isn't gonna work. That I'm not gonna have a chord, or I forgot a chord, or my microphone is gonna. I had a casualty. I had one. I had one casualty of a microphone, you know. But it's once everything is set up and I get my sound, you know, I turn it up and I get my sound. I'm like, yeah, I'm home now. It's on.
Yeah. Well, I know the music sounded great from the dressing room. And as far as technical casualties go,
I mean now people got to understand that Jahani did not have any rehearsal with the band.
Right. No one knew what we were gonna play.
No one knew what was gonna happen. We kind of talked it out, and Spira had kind of talked it out to the band, like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. And
here, for those that's watching, you can see this is where me and Brother Ehret, and I wish that Johnny still had that. They got that stupid Facebook stories, delete the story, but you could see right here where we come out, we're actually stepping together. We're doing a little Jackson 5 move right here for like a second, and then, you know, we break off and then
it's, you know, I want you back.
Yeah,
that's great.
Came out, you know, and
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And what everyone doesn't see from this shot is that everyone was up dancing.
Yeah,
right. Well, the breatharian cat. What? How do you pronounce his name? How do you pronounce his name, Spira?
Elateem, I think.
Elateem, yeah, he was up from the jump, man, just having a good time, you know.
Yeah, and he and I'll go back to where he introduced us and play that for folks. So they can
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
So they
all
can
right,
hear.
Here we go. Can I get your attention for this fabulous music demonstration?
He was all right. He was cool, man. Yeah. You know, I didn't have no problem. People wanted to know just how me and him were gonna
Spira and
socialize, you know.
Of the fire
For some reason, they were just very interested. What do you think? What do you think of him? What do you? I was like, he was cool, you know. He was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. I mean, really, honestly, the event, the Ehret Day event, probably, I mean, is really one of the few events that he probably feels like he belongs at.
Oh yeah, he was there. I mean, the fact that he was there, and all the people who really follow him now next year, hopefully they'll be interested, like, to come to the event because he was there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, you can go, to, his spiritual side of his teachings or his diet side of his teachings and his talks. But what you guys put on that weekend was, like I said, probably the closest thing that he felt like an event that he belonged at and he could socialize at and he could talk to people at who were
right.
who were actually taking in what he had to say seriously.
Right.
And it was at something that you guys, in the Mucusless Diet name put together that he could come.
There's not a lot of people who can relate to breatharianism like Mucusless Diet people can.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm gonna just say that,
Brother Ehret, we're losing you. You're almost falling down the hole.
Oh, can you see me?
I see one eyeball. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, all right, there.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, just the kind of conversation that when you start talking about the subject of breatharianism, the Mucusless diet practitioners can relate to it more so than anybody, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, whether or not, is this guy a breatharian or is he not a breatharian? But I'm talking about, like, when he said, well, the last time I've eaten was 2017 or 2018, and it ain't too many people who can relate to that, but I can relate to that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do that. So,
yeah.
So that was, and that's why I think people were interested in what I thought about him. I was just glad that he was there. Once he got there, it was like he's there. And it gave people an added attraction to the event that they wasn't expecting to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't expecting to meet him. So, there was a guy who claims to be a breatharian. Right there, you can ask all these questions about breatharianism, because believe me, I get plenty of questions about breatharianism, and I keep denying that year after year after year that I'm not a breatharian. So now here is somebody who claimed to be a breatharian. I was telling people to ask him. If you got those questions about breatharian, don't ask me, because I'm not a breatharian. I practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. This guy claims to be a breatharian. You need to really take advantage of being around this guy and ask him what's going on. The whole mechanics of this.
Right.
Like Spira, like you say, John, Big John, the vibe man, he grilled him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the clip here, I like these clips where they're dancing in front of them.
That's great. Oh, and okay, forgive me, I forget her name. She's such a sweet woman.
Jody.
Yes, Jody.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it started with a J. But Jody, she was just a joy to talk to, and she was having such a wonderful time. And I hope she makes it back next year.
I do too. Because we made some everlasting friends,
Yeah.
that we want to see next year. It would be nice to see all of them. Trayvon bought his wife. That was that was a funny thing, because he told me that he was coming around December or so. He kind of said, "Yeah, I'm coming, and I'm bringing my son, his newborn," and he said, I thought he said, "I'm bringing my niece." So I thought, okay, yeah, cool, So he gets there, and I'm introduced, and I'm thinking this is his niece, and and then we talking and I'm talking about his, like the mother of the child, and he said, and she said, I'm the mother of the child. She said, and he was like, well, this is my lady, man. And I said, I thought she was your niece. He said, no, her name is Lanice. I was like, oh wow, okay. So he bought his whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. And she was really, really sweet to talk to too. I got to talk to her a lot.
She really
Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm.
She was really interested in a lot of information about when you do that kind of birthing at home. Like, what's the next step? How do I get a Social Security? Do I you know what I mean? Do I she was just really interested in all of that, man. And so she's a beautiful sister. Trayvon's just a solid cat, and I know his youth is very lucky, man, to have those two young people as parents, because they really are.
Yeah, there they are. There they were, right there. They're there.
Okay. Yeah, they really are trying to get it together, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful couple. And that's the way it starts, And Trayvon was having a good time, man. He's a funny guy anyway,
I wish I had his roller skating skills for sure.
Yeah, I was checking that out.
He was jamming.
That's that Chicago hit, boy.
Oh, look at him. Oh, he's okay.
Yeah, man. So hopefully he will be coming every year too, and we'll get a chance to see him grow up,
Yeah.
Aw.
Let's see. Here's a Trayvon had said, gave us a little gave us a testimonial.
Going forward of building an Ehret community, I think it would be great for all of us to just get together and figure it out. It'll take some time to transition to that, but I see it all coming together, and it'll be such a beautiful thing once that plan comes together.
Yeah. It blows my mind how many folks that we have in the community that are like architects and builders and carpenters, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, we got to make it happen.
Yeah.
I know it's going to take some time, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been a huge thing for me. Also, just, I don't know, just being here with everybody that also is like-minded and practices diet is also a good thing just a good atmosphere for just, I don't know, everybody. I'm enjoying myself. It's been a beautiful time. And I'm speechless.
Hey,
I'm
man.
no more words, but speechless.
Hey, man, it's beautiful for you to come, man. I love that you brought the family this year, man.
Got to get it together. We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
He loves that little boy.
I know, he does.
That was so he was saying he really liked Dylan's talk about the earthships and building the Ehret community and that whole piece, and so that's it was a great event. We could go on for another 4 hours talking and showing stuff off. We should probably shut it down because we've been on here for a couple minutes, and save some for later.
Yep. We have to remember Randy Dickerson.
Yeah, Randy. Yeah.
Another cat with a lot of information comes, and I call him the instigator.
Oh yeah.
He gets all of us together, all the breatharians, the mucusless, the raw, the fruits. He's the instigator. He gets them all in
he
one room,
brings everybody together, right?
Brings everybody together. So, that's my cat. So yeah, man. There was a few other people. I can't think of their names. Women. The one lady from Florence, Kentucky. She was so nice and so sweet, and she's really trying do the practice, and she just was, she just enjoyed the whole weekend, and so yeah, and then it was one lady who came from I think she said Arizona, and she got there kind of late.
What's that?
What was her name?
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah.
She got there kind of late, and did we see her Sunday?
No, I don't think she made it out Sunday.
Okay, so yeah, she came in town for the got there.
Yeah, and I had because I know her, and there's a couple people down there, Ray, and some shout out to Ray. He wanted to make it, he couldn't make it, had a family emergency, wasn't able to make it down, but Robin came and hung out, and and she was there, and we was playing the music. They're into the jazz. They have a little jazz thing that they do down there in Arizona. But it was a beautiful event.
And those hidden hands, Spira, you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't even begin to think.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's some people that were really behind the scenes that made this possible. Yeah. And so we thank you most definitely.
Man, it's kind of like, you just can't even say enough. You can't even say enough for what they do to make all these things happen. All the good times that everybody is talking about, they had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And they wasn't there. So thank you. And they know who we talking about. So don't want to leave them out, So I'm good, man. And Spira, thank you. I don't know if I thanked you for just all the work, man, that you do, man. Because
absolutely.
I have to admit, I'm kind of like the cat who suggests things and have things that I want done a certain way, and ask you about them, and you kind of yay or nay or okay, this is possible, okay. And you the one that, get on the phone or do this. And, so for all that work, man, that you did, I know the kind of work that you did. I want to thank you, man. I mean, for real, thanks.
Yeah, wow. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man. Your work goes without, we're not forgetting, man, because like I say, I kind of just show up and kind of report for duty. I mean, really,
Yeah.
But Spira gets in the trenches, and and goes and does all the, basically do all the grunt work.
Well, he did up and down the ladder, really, from the lofty ideas up there with you, Brother Air, and to him having to come down to work with other humans.
It's just a lot of work, and a lot of
he doesn't always work with humans, but when he does, it's for everything.
Well, don't get used to the socializing. He'll see you next year. Don't get used to the socializing. So it's I mean, I'm a social cat. I can hang, but people should feel real privileged to hang out with you, Spira. For real, man.
All bow down to Professor Spira.
Oh, David got back on.
Oh,
yeah. I had to step off for a little bit.
yeah, man. So yeah, we just, it's very rare that Spira hangs out with people.
With mere mortals.
Yeah.
Well, you could say that if you practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. I mean, hey, you got a better shot at living forever compared to everyone else.
Yeah. Well, the timeline to hang out with Spira is the Ehret Day every year, because he's a hard cat to tie down.
Is that like on Ehret Day? Is that when he comes down into like he's like super Spira, and then he's like kind of like the Clark Kent version of himself?
Well, he's super. Super Spira.
Yeah.
And
on
exactly.
On Ehret Day, Spira joins us in human form.
Yeah,
exactly.
right. He hugs and he kisses little babies and he hugs. It's like the politician. He's running for something. It's that kind of attitude. So you get a chance to see him, hugging people and greeting people, and So that's
and until next year, his mortal body falls away and his spirit resides elsewhere.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gee, that's great.
Yeah.
So everything was beautiful, man. I appreciate all y'all, man, and y'all and everybody just treated me so swell, and it really made me emotional to connect with people that talk to me and said that being exposed to us inspires them to do certain things.
Yeah.
That's really deep, man. For me, man, that's so.
I think it's had some of the most profound impacts on everyone's life. I mean, everyone that was there. I mean, I could certainly testify to that. And speaking to everyone else there, they certainly would agree too.
Well, I mean, we thank you, and just let everybody know is that all we think about is practicing the mucusless diet too. That's all we do. You know what I mean? We don't elevate ourselves no higher than what it is. It's all about practicing the mucusless diet. That's what we do, and that's what we're committed to.
Yeah.
So
there's something more human than that.
I like how you saying the presentation, how not to sound selfish in any way, but it really should come down to practicing it as it being number one, because if you can get that on point, the rest of life will, I feel like, kind of just fall in place.
I think so. I think that's
how can we do anything if they're feeling like crap and they're unhealthy? I mean, like, exactly like you're saying, if you want to be there for your family and spend time.
Yeah, I know that kind of sound harsh to people when I talk like that. But
yeah, but no, I totally I hear that, and I agree.
There's no better. There's no better feeling than being around your children and your family and people. And the way you do that is by being here.
Yeah.
So take care of yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Prioritize your health. There's nothing more important than your health. And so by doing that, if you really love your children or your spouse or whoever it is, that's the way to be around, so you can be around them for years and years to come. So that's what that prioritizing is. It's just so you can be around those who you do love.
Right. And be around them, just as you said, Brother Air, be around them, but be around them with some vitality.
Right, exactly.
Not hopped up on and propped up on all kinds of medications or false treatments or whatnot, but that you're here with some vitality and that you all can really take advantage of that vitality that you have. You and your loved ones around you.
I wanted to. I didn't want to forget Brother Anthony from Chicago. Man, he came down, and it was kind of funny. He had rented a hotel that was kind of like a pimp hotel.
All right, holla.
So he ended up crashing with us. You know, we couldn't let him go back. He was like, "Nah, man, you can hang." You know.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh man, I can't believe."
The wrong hotel. And Desi and Shane.
Shane, those were two cats, especially Desi. Boy, he got a lot to say.
They jumped in the car from I think it was New York.
From New York,
it's like, are we going on a trip? Let's go.
He said he ran into an extra $1,000, and he called his cat Shane, and they like headed on down. I was so glad, man. Them was some cool brothers. You know, I mean,
that's cool.
They just made the event, man, because they bought that kind of vitality, Shane is kind of one of the cats that kind of he's talking to, but not like Desi. You know, Desi's the cat, man.
He was really talking up a storm.
Yeah.
They were from upstate New York. Yeah. You know, they're down with the Mucus-free Diet Healing System. I was like, wow, that's really neat. And I don't got to travel a million miles or anything like that. That was really cool to see them show up too.
That makes a whole
for me personally.
Y'all can hook up regionally. You know, just regionally, y'all can hook up and hang out. You know, and call each other and kind of, you know. So that's cool, because we were talking about that, Spira, about regions.
Right.
About different regions. You know, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for a whole year. You know, regions can hook up, you know, every 2 or 3 months. Just kind of hook up and hang out, you know.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
So
we there.
We there.
I think
we gave them their money's worth today in length, and
Thank everybody, man. It was a beautiful, successful weekend. Starting for me that Thursday, it was on, man. It was on. So I just thank everybody and see you next year. You know. Or if not sooner.
Most definitely. And we signing out, David. Thank you for plugging in with us.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Hey, David, I'll see you soon, man. You got my number, man. Let's talk polyrhythms.
Yeah, I don't know if he I don't know if he could hear us, but.
All right, be well, guys.
All right.
I can hear you guys. I might have chopped out.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for plugging in, man.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Absolutely.
Peace now.
All right.
So yeah, man, I'm out, man. Jahan, it was a pleasure. What a bang up job you did. You know.
Yeah.
Of course. And thank you both.
Yeah, you passed the audition for the Professor Spira Brother Ehret Fire Music
Project.
You know what? I better have.
I'm determined to do that. I want to do that set at a jazz festival, like a famous jazz festival.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to do that set.
At least this time I might have heard it before. So that's
Yeah. Well, we'll have some rehearsals. We'll get professional as this thing goes on. We'll get more and more professional.
Oh no, you guys, it was wonderful. It really was wonderful. It was really a treat for me to be able for it to be fresh, for Spira's poetic words to be fresh in my mind, in the midst of the performing, and for the music to just be coming out of everyone's souls. Brother Air, without you, there would have been no me dancing. That's for sure. So I thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. There it is, all day. Because it was, like I say, I can't say nothing negative about that weekend, man. It was everybody was cool. Wasn't nobody tripping. You know, like I say, Obacon, he was just funny, man. He was a funny cat to me, man.
He's great. He was a pleasure. He really, really was. Spira was like, Obacon's gonna come pick you up at the house. So, like, who's this guy? Yeah.
He's something else, man.
I loved him.
He's my cat. He's the cat. He's the cat we gotta take on the road with us, Spira.
Yeah.
He would be the best roadie. He would be the best roadie all the way around, entertaining, fun to talk to. The best roadie.
Give him a bag of oranges and he'll follow you anywhere.
Yeah, right. All right, so we're gonna sign off. We're gonna say goodbye to Brother Air's hair. And,
hey, not that bad.
Yeah.
Your forehead. Okay.
Not that bad. Okay, there I am. I at least sign out.
Yeah.
You can see me good now.
Yeah.
Yes. You can sign out with your face. There you go.
Yeah. At least. Yeah. Okay. Peace, love. What is that? What you say? Peace, love, and breath.
Yeah.
I guess I can't say that. It's yours. I guess you're soup.
Yeah, copy. Yeah, to trademark.
Trademark. Okay.
Right. So this was an experience as always, an improvisation. It's the first time I tried to do a group chat live through Skype. So this was the test run of this format. So so I think once we got plugged in and we got it all ironed out, I think things started to go pretty good.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I'm good from now if we use this platform anymore.
So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you, Janan and Brother Air, for plugging on in.
Janan, Spira, peace. Everybody, thanks for the Ehret Day. We'll see you next year.
Thanks, everybody. Had a great time.
All right. And until next time, peace, love, and breath.